Welcome to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2021. Can I ask you please to stand as the graduates enter the room? can you please remain standing for the national anthem?
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Please be seated. Before we begin our formalities, we now have a musical presentation from Shamishka.
हवा के झोंके आज मौसमों से रूठ गए गुलों की शोखियाँ जो भंवरे आके लूट गए बदल रही है आज जिंदगी की चाल जरा इसी बहाने क्यों न मैं भी दिल का हाल जरा सवार लूं सवार लूं सवार लूं है सवार लूं बरामदे पुराने हैं नई सी धूप है जो पल के खटखटा रहा है किसका रूप है शरारतें करे जो ऐसे भूल के हिजाब कैसे उसको नाम से मैं पुकार लूं सवार लूं सवार लूं सवार लूं है सवार लूं ये सारी कोयलें बनी है आज डाकियाँ में चिट्ठियाँ पढ़े मजाकियाँ इन्हें कहो कि ना छुपाए किसने है लिखा बताए उसकी आज मैं नजर उतार लूं सवार लूं है सवार लूं सवार लूं सवार लूं
We now have some goodwill messages from the class of 2021's teachers.
Class of 2021, I was very excited to see you all in person, graduating and going to your universities. But I think this is how we are going to graduate, and I wish you all the best and lot of happiness, lot of love, and hope all your dreams come true. And I'm really waiting to see you all in person. Love you, and I will really miss you.
Hello everyone, hope you all are safe and healthy. Though we all were confined to the walls of the house and glued to the screen, technology brought us together and helped to stay virtually connected. Hope these virtual connections established real bonds between us, which is retained in permanent memory. Wishing you good luck for the future, stay safe and stay blessed.
Hello, my dear 2021 batch. Few words dedicated to every one of you, but especially Ilyan, Arush, and Vivan, those who prepared rap song when they were in grade 9. क से कोरोना भागेगा, ख से खुशियाँ आएंगी, ग से गलियाँ गुनगुनाएंगी, घ से घर से बाहर निकलेंगे हम, च से चमन सारा झूम उठेगा, छ से छू मंतर हो जाएंगी सारी मुसीबतें, ज से जहाँ सारा मुस्कुराएगा, और झ से झंडा खुशियों का लहराएगा.
Teaching the bunch of you, without exaggeration, was a memorable and a pleasant experience indeed for me. I wish you all super luck in your future endeavor. Bye.
Batch of 2021. I can't believe I taught some of you in grade 8, and here you are, almost about to graduate. Stay safe, stay positive, stay confident, and always keep smiling. You should be proud of all your accomplishments. Love you all.
My first batch at OIS. It's been wonderful seeing you all grow up into these amazing, amazing human beings. All the best. I'll really miss you all with all my heart. Love you guys.
Batch of 2021. I am excited for you all, from having been together through this DP journey to each of you going off into brand new unknowns. Big times, tough times, times that will define you and shape the future. Stay safe, keep learning, keep appreciating, and be your biggest fan forever.
Lo pasé bomba con vosotros durante los 2 años. Fuisteis estudiantes trabajadores e independientes. Espero que sigáis hablando español en el futuro y mis mejores deseos para vuestros futuros.
Bonjour, class of 2021. How do you know what you say you know? Have you explored your creativity? Are you staying fit and active? Have you reflected on your service learning? My message to you, dream and make that dream come true for yourself and for everyone in a
Hello, class of 2021. I just wanted to say congratulations on today. It's a huge accomplishment and you should be very proud of yourselves. Please keep in touch and let us know how your adventures go because we really do love following you guys and seeing where you head. Have a great day and congratulations.
Class of 2021. Y a mis alumnos de español deciros que ha sido un placer ser una pequeña parte en vuestro proceso de aprendizaje. Mucha suerte a partir de ahora, que sé que la vais a tener, y espero saber de vosotros en el futuro. Mucha suerte.
नमस्ते आप सभी को आपके उज्जवल भविष्य की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। आप सभी जहां भी रहें स्वस्थ रहें, प्रसन्न रहें और तरक्की करें। धन्यवाद।
All my students, as you leave this school, I just want to thank you for being amazing students, putting in the necessary effort on the field and giving your best while at it. Thank you for being the best students I could have ever asked for. Go onwards, good luck and Godspeed.
Hello Rockstars. Many congratulations on the very proud day of your graduation today. Thank you for being the batch of spirited learners who took the challenges that this year brought in head on and with so much of elan. You have set the benchmark really high. Stay awesome, stay.
Guys, it's time to bid farewell, and I know it's not so easy for all of us, but we know life must go on, and of course there's a bright future and opportunities waiting for you. So keep the same resilience and the way you have adapted this new situation, the current situation. Keep up the same spirits, and as now you guys are beginning with your new phase of your life, I wish you most healthy and successful journey ahead. Be kind, happy, and God bless you always. All the best.
Congratulations, class of 2021. You finally completed what was undoubtedly a very difficult culminating chapter in your high school years. Now I wish you all the success and excitement as you transition into the next phase of your life. All the best.
It has been a pleasure to teach you all. You were a great bunch. 7 good years. I've got lots of fun memories with you, and it would take too long to talk about them, but you were great company, and don't forget that you've done amazingly well.
This is to the class of 2021 who truly lived the Ubuntu way of life, which says, I am because we are. This unity was clearly seen in classrooms, in the corridors, in the assemblies, during the CAS projects. A great example of it. Be the same. All the best for your future endeavors.
We now have some words from the class of 2021.
I think sleeping was my problem in school. Had school started at 4 in the afternoon, I'd be a college graduate by now.
And someone who could actually put on my Zoom camera. Before we start, a disclaimer.
Clearly communicate with this reel making, everything Instagramming, social media generation. Hashtags and pop culture references will be used. Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Hello, teachers, and our finally graduates.
And the people who paid for these graduates.
I don't know if you know us, but I'm Rishabh and that's Ruchi. And we went to school together. Those were good times. Go follow us on Instagram.
Congratulations on hashtag making it. In a world full of problems, COVID, wars, global warming, FOMO for that Goa trip.
And of course, our great group chat, not just the student one.
Despite all the odds, we made it. So, like most of us, we joined this school 6 years ago and we got to know the OIS building.
On the first floor, it was the nurse's glucon D and trying to fake an injury to get a lift pass after PE with Mr. Vishal, who eventually turned into Dr. Vishal. And sports day, the real one on the field, where we had spinning relays and tug of war, and of course, Appu's multiple knee dislocations.
On the fourth floor, cafeteria it was, with the Sodexo's dal that changed names but not color. The pool that we always filmed our seniors jumping into on their last day, but sadly Miss Corona had other plans for us.
The refugee areas on the fifth floor where we played football and occasionally Jain Sharma fought and went to Miss Priya Ramteke's room for suspension.
And on the seventh floor, Mr. Shomo's room playing the laughing yoga videos.
I'm happy, I'm relaxed. I'm happy, I'm relaxed.
But once we put on those light blue shirts, this hoodie, the labyrinth turned into our second home.
The sports day turned into actual houses competing over spirit points with the craziest cheers and craziest group names.
The fourth floor library turned into EE sessions and us wasting all the time we were given, only to pull a collective all-nighter the day before the deadline.
While in the cafeteria, the food didn't change. At least we could sit on the high school side and assert our dominance. The sixth floor was us roaming around during study hall and begging for notes from the seniors. And the hallway behind the art room that turned into the couple's corner, and the eighth floor, well, you know what happened there.
While on the other hand, for some overly enthusiastic people, the auditorium turned into a location for CAS projects, from Dreamfest to Filmfest, to lighting up the lanterns for RFL, to the guys buying 4 dozen roses for Shlok Mundra and his nan on Let It Beats Rose Day.
While those hours were horror, they at least gave me something to put on my resume.
Let's forget the horror times and remember our class trips.
Well, 7th grade was an interesting one. Because in the Kerala trip, we actually got to stay in a hotel with plumbing instead of tents.
And for 8th, the Rishikesh fire was #lit.
Nah, bro, the zipline over #Holy Ganges was #goals.
Come on. The 9th grade Yerkot trip, where we climbed up mountains only to come and wash our own plates, was #gross.
But Mr. Shane's wakey, and the sunrises made up for it.
But nothing compares to the Andaman trip. The snorkeling, the raft building, the party bus, the pukey ferry ride, the amount of paneer we had.
The number of couples formed, and please, a moment of silence for
Abrar.
Nayantara.
And of course, my personal favorite, Vivek.
Over the years, our relationships have gone from Snapchat, put this on your story if I made your 2016 better, to posting stories on people's birthdays, to the most profound way to show your love, sending each other memes and creating stickers of each other's faces.
Over the next couple of years, we'll all be moving to different parts of the world. Friends we used to secretly sync our bathroom times with to meet during class, the ones we went on some of the most memorable trips with, and the ones we Zoom chatted every class will be thousands of miles away. But on the bright side, this pandemic has taught us how to maintain those relationships and shown us what truly matters.
A small hey, how are you? Are you doing okay? Or even just a good morning can go a long way And we hope we can continue to foster these relationships and these memories we have created forever.
Because at the end of the day, the failed tests, the anxiety over college apps, the expectations, the embarrassment, or even failure, they fade away. But the way we felt, the joy, the sadness, the pride, the laughs, and the unbreakable bonds we've shared, they will stay.
Whichever part of the world we end up in, we'll always be the class of 2021.
OIS is class of 2021, the one that not just survived,
but thrived.
So, graduates, follow your heart, take risks, and let's begin the next chapter of our lives.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag goodbye.
A very good evening to all parents, teachers, and my fellow students. A heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you. Now, I've only been at OIS for about 2 years now and physically in the school building for about 8 months. I haven't had a chance to interact with you as much as I'd have wanted to. However, I believe that I've learned a lot both from and about our batch, and that is what I'd like to talk about. Our batch is like none other before it. We will always be remembered as the batch that graduated during a pandemic, the learnings from which will always be instilled in us. The OIS class of 2021 survived. Rather, we flourished during times when our entire world's existence was threatened. Further, our batch was reasonable and mindful of decisions and circumstances that the school was in. We were united when we needed it the most and understanding when things didn't go our way. And there were far too many such things. We have grown resilient and open-minded, things I believe will benefit us greatly in the future. A conversation I often have with my peers is about how we all are together and what separates us. I believe we watch the same shows, we read the same news and learn from the same books. I've always questioned what separates us from each other. What I have come to learn is that our dreams, our ambitions, and our goals certainly do. What we want, what we're working toward, that is what separates us. And if a once-in-a-century health crisis such as COVID-19 cannot falter us from our path, I do not believe anything can. We may be collectively addressed as the class of 2021, but we go far beyond that. We are, at the core, a group, but of individuals that are united with each other. And it is my view that such a group is infallible. In the next year or two, we will all be scattered around the world. But what does that mean for us as a community? We are 120 students out of a world with a population of 7.9 billion. To all the parents and teachers that may be watching this, I thank you for equipping each and every one of us greatly. Greatly enough that every single one of us is capable of being more than simply a statistic. More than simply 120 out of 7.9 billion. I would like to conclude by quoting John Stuart Mill. Whatever crushes individuality is despotism, no matter what name it is called. We are individuals that hope to achieve our goals. And I assure you that the class of 2021 will, ironically, prosper as a group, but of individuals. In this pursuit of individuality, I am certain that we will remain indebted to and grateful for our school and our batch. I would like to thank my fellow students for giving me the privilege of being part of such a vibrant group of individuals. I would like to thank you for the experiences and learnings that I have gained over the past 2 years. Thank you.
Good evening, parents, teachers, and of course, mere pyare dost. It seems really weird to be saying this for the last time ever, but my name is Tarasha Gupta.
And my name is Kriti Andhare, and it is an absolute honor to be speaking at the graduation of the class of 2021. It seems almost surreal to be standing here and delivering this address, something I have dreamed of ever since I was a kid and watched Alex's graduation speech in Modern Family.
When Kriti and I decided to give this speech, I knew exactly the kind of speech I want to give. And that is one worthy of Shah Rukh Khan's iconic motivational speech in Chak De India.
I'm just glad that I convinced her I have a high school musical reference.
The timeless words of Troy Bolton were all in this together. But before we begin to attempt the very daunting task of trying to sum up the essence of 120 students, we'd like to give a few thanks.
Thank you to our teachers for putting up with our daily hijinks, reminding us not to eat in the corridors, and teaching us how to advocate for causes we passionately believe in. Our grades. But truly, none of us would be who we are without you.
Thank you also to Miss Nikita, our grades adoptive mom, and of course our GLC. There's nothing much that we could say that won't be conveyed by the huge hug we will give you before we all leave for college.
Thank you to Miss Priya Ramteke for cultivating the true spirit of CAS in us through BAA and Events Committee, to Mr. Tony, Mr. Stewart, Miss Sandy, Mr. Davi, Miss Lorena, Miss Supriya, Miss Rucha and Miss Kunjal for dealing with us hounding you incessantly with our CAS proposals and IB subject changes.
And finally, thank you, the class of 2021. I don't think mere adjectives can describe just how unique and special this batch is, so I'll share a story instead. The other day, I was looking through my notes app and I found something which I think is the perfect embodiment of our grade and just how remarkable it is. It was a note that I had taken in 10th grade before our IGCSE exams, and in it contained links to subject-specific WhatsApp groups for every single subject that our school offered. From maths to physics to biology to economics, every single class had a group where people would share past paper questions until the wee hours of the night and would get answers just as quickly as they were sent. And that's the class of 2021 for you. Because we are a class where competition is used as material for jokes or witty banter, but never to bring others down. We are a class where help is always given to those who ask for it. A class that is so deeply invested in each other's success. And above all, we're a class that cares for one another. And so if there's one thing that I'll actually miss about exams, it's this. I'll miss how in times of fear, stress and adversity, we became even closer. I said earlier that I wanted my speech to be inspiring. And so when I was looking and trying to think of the most inspirational message that I could share with you all, that's when it hit me. What's more inspiring than the class of 2021 itself? From having to go through most of our IB journey online, to dealing with almost constant uncertainty, to continuing to grow and develop ourselves even after exams got cancelled, and doing all of that with a smile on our face every single day. From our resilience throughout this pandemic to our continuing positivity. What do I say to inspire those who have inspired me so much over the last few years? And really for me, it's the small things that have stuck. The way that in assemblies we clap until our hands hurt for every single performer. The way every time we're always willing to share our friends' CAS promotions to help them out. The way I don't think there's a single extracurricular project in this entire school that doesn't have a member of our grade in it. There are just so many instances where our grade, each and every person in our grade has been so inspiring, and it has been such a wonderful experience being a part of this grade over the last 10 years. And ultimately, after 10 years, and after the last 2 years especially, being able to stand here and say that we've completed a course as rigorous as the IB is no small feat. And even though after 2 years I still can't spell the word baccalaureate, I have no doubt that what we've learned over the last few years has prepared us to step into the real world. A place so far limited to real world examples for TOK, economics and GP. And so it is with so much happiness that I stand here and celebrate the fact that today finally we are graduating.
But what does graduation mean to me? What does graduation mean to us? Pondering this question, my meandering thoughts arrived at the image of a graduated cylinder. Strange, right? I mean, the science that I took in IB was computer science. But I believe that this lab apparatus, one that we have to constantly remind ourselves to keep on a level surface before measuring, is the perfect metaphor for graduation. For what is the purpose of a graduated cylinder? Calibration, measurement. Graduation is the moment for sizing both ourselves and the world. Where do we measure up? What scale will we define ourselves with? What mark is each and every one of us going to make? It is the moment that we are stepping out to fill the world with our potential. And if we're able to answer those questions, then we are truly graduating. But to be able to do that, we must be able to access both ourselves and the reality around us. Which begets the question, what is reality? Is it the cellophane that we eagerly tear from the newly delivered boxes of our iPad Pros? Or the buildings being torn to dust 2 time zones away? Is it the people breathing through scuba diving suits underwater? or those gasping for their breath outside hospitals? Is it the bots that we have coded on Discord, or the Perseverance rover landing on Mars? Or is it the incendiary speeches made at MUN, or students being jailed for simply speaking the truth? Reality is somewhere in between. The other key aspect that strikes me about a graduated cylinder is that it must be kept on a level surface to be measured. But ours, it is tilted in our favor. We need to be cognizant of where we stand in this world. See our privilege not as a cross to bear, but a dragon to ride. To me, it is the opportunities that we will unlock. Today we stand at the precipice, the first of many in our lives. And I hope that we all look closely and mark the gradients of our graduated cylinders with what we choose, and use the tilted table on which it stands to pull others up. And knowing the class of 2021, I have complete faith that each and every one of us can and will do that. Thank you.
Mr. Tony Wright and Mr. Peter Murphy will now address the class of 2021.
Good afternoon to you, the graduating class of Oberoi International School 2021. The last of the Oberoi classes to graduate from just one campus, and the first to have completed most of their diploma online. Yes, it has been very frustrating and disappointing to have been online in your final year, and especially to have had your hopes built up of getting back into the building, only to have the second wave of COVID dash those hopes and take away the prospect of completing your final exams right at the 11th hour. Now, I know that some of you will have been immensely relieved that those exams were cancelled, but I also know how many of you were bitterly disappointed not to have the chance to show to the world just how much work you've done over the last 2 years. Either way, the positivity and resilience that you as a class have shown throughout these 18 months has been truly inspirational to the rest of our community. The way you rallied together this time last year to support the graduating class of 2020 as their final weeks as OIS seniors were taken away from them shows the true spirit of your core values, and especially how much you respect those around you. And seeing that those core values are ingrained in you makes me incredibly proud and excited to see what you will do in the world beyond OIS. In fact, my relationship with you as a class and the memories of the last 5 years that I have shared with you will encapsulate the many ways you have lived out those core values in your time with us. Knowledge has undoubtedly been an important part of all of your lives. Seeking knowledge through your classes has been just a small part of that. But the way you have built on that knowledge in the classes under the most extremely unique circumstances of any graduating class in my lifetime has been immensely admirable. Never complaining, never giving up, staying focused and determined right up to the end of your DP courses is something that I will always remember you for. The fact that throughout your DP years you've managed to continue to advocate for a support of wide range of social responsible projects through CAS, some of them inherited from your predecessors, but also lots of new ideas and projects that you have had to instigate within your own networks and societies as a result of the ongoing pandemic. This, more than anything else, is a tribute I want you to take with you into the next stage of your life journeys. Having had the opportunity to visit the art exhibition, having seen some of your work in design and hearing the amazing music and seeing the drama performances when you were in the classrooms, I've been able to witness some amazing creativity within your grade level. And then, of course, come the assemblies, the amazing performances in some of the CAS projects over the years. And I know that creativity is something that's deep within all of you. And of course, there is celebration. As I've mentioned already, as a grade level, given any opportunity to put on a show with the help of Miss Nikita, your assemblies will remain long in my memory, with the dances, the stand-up comedy, the drama performances, and of course the amazing music that you've produced. But not only on the stage did you celebrate. The trip to the Andamans was truly a celebration of all that embodies your class of 2021. Whilst I wasn't able to be there, the stories that I've heard of the smiling, the laughter, and all the memory making on that trip, that will always be a pinnacle of your learning and your celebrations as OIS students. I hope that the additional challenges you have faced will help to make you stronger, and that you will go out successfully into the world beyond OIS, showing them just what you can achieve when you put your minds to it. With the happy memories and friendships behind you that I hope will last a lifetime. And please remember that as precious members of our learning community, you will always be welcomed back once we can get into the building. And your advice and support for your juniors and for the rest of the OIS community will always be very much appreciated. So please, take care, stay safe, and let that OIS light deep within you shine brightly wherever it is that you go next.
To the class of 2021, your brothers and sisters, proud mums and dads, grandparents, relatives, teachers, and honoured guests, we meet in unusual times to celebrate and honour the magical moment of graduation after 13 years of school. Many of the rituals associated with completing the last 2 years of school have had to be cancelled. Nevertheless, your class identity remains strong. To some, you will be fondly remembered as the Corona class. Emotions of anger, confusion, anxiety and uncertainty will have been much more present for you than any of us would have wanted. At the same time, families have become closer, have learned invaluable lessons about the daily lives and routines of each other as they have been forced to work in ways that no one would have imagined. With the news that your right to prove yourselves through IB examinations was being taken from you, many of you have looked to redirect your energy and capacity to do good things by connecting to the needs in the wider community. I would like to commend you for your sense of service for the good of others. So what do we learn from such periods of adversity? There's a very tangible interconnectedness in our lives. Events that happen at a distance can quickly have a local impact. There's a need to be ready to adapt and change. In recent experience, this has happened very quickly and we will have far-reaching impact. The importance of patience. Our experiences of adjusting to learning from home have required our whole community to embrace this capacity. The value of empathy. I believe as an IB student, you have probably already developed high levels of this emotional intelligence. Nevertheless, given the very real tragedies that we've witnessed with families suffering the loss of loved ones, there's a heightened sensitivity we are all experiencing. The importance of resilience and keeping things in proportion. And the value of small gestures of kindness, showing appreciation for groups of people who are frequently overlooked, for example, those we have seen providing essential service in times of real challenge. If there is one thing that schools have in common, it is a shared sense that what they provide for young adults like you, the graduates of 21, is a solid foundation on which you can build the rest of your life. For many schools and communities, this solid foundation has been predicated on the notion that the pursuit of knowledge is the key that would open doors to a future life of success and happiness. Today, we honour that tradition with our statements of affirmation that you've mastered the hard skills required in the academic disciplines. You understand how mathematics, the sciences, the humanities, world languages, the arts, technology, economics and psychology help shape our world. Your academic transcript will bear witness to the progress that you have made in mastering these subject disciplines, a message that I am confident will be reinforced by equally successful results conferred by the International Baccalaureate Organisation in July. In adopting the IB diploma, OIS has made a significant commitment that you should be provided the best possible foundation in the academic disciplines that we've already mentioned. But perhaps much more importantly, if you are to be really successful, there are some additional, I would say essential skills that you will have been given plenty of opportunity to practice. Study after study reaffirms that our responsibility as educators is to ensure that you leave school with the following set of 7 skills and dispositions. 1. That you're confident and aware of your own strengths and the personal potential that you possess to be true to yourself, equipped with the self-esteem required during times of challenge. 2. That you have the ability to think critically and make your own judgments. 3. You've learnt important lessons about working collaboratively, in teams, with folks who you do not necessarily see things the same way that you do. 4. Your communication skills are rich and varied, enabling you to present your ideas confidently, regardless of the audience. 5. You've learnt to be creative, not just in the arts, but in solving challenges that may confront you. 6. You've practiced a work ethic that understands the importance of grit, of driving forward in the face of adversity. And finally, when we look at how you manage all of the conflicting demands on your time, we see how well you have learnt time management. These skills and dispositions will be what set you apart. They will be the reservoir that you will draw from as you navigate the future. The teachers and support staff who you have worked with have indeed equipped you well. As one door closes, the next is already ajar and waiting for you to transition into the next phase of your life. For some, probably most of you, this will mean university. For others, it will mean a time for reflection as you contemplate the options that life will present you. As we bring this chapter of your life to a close, take a moment to remind yourself of the amazing strengths and talents that define you as a person. Think about the challenges that you have worked to overcome, the friendships that you forged, the goals that you have ahead of you, and how you can best draw upon who you have become to make them happen. We are reminded by recent events in the media of a very important lesson, one that we are at risk of taking for granted in a school like OIS. That is that all lives matter. There is no place in the world for racial hatred or bigotry. One of your jobs is to make sure that you champion this principle in your deeds and actions. It's been a pleasure and an honour to have been your head of school for the past year. My only sadness is that we have had little, if any, time to get to know each other. You join the ranks of approximately 800 students who can call themselves OIS alumni, and I'm immensely proud of every one of you. Congratulations, the class of 2021.
We will now have a short interlude for the award of certificates to the class of 2021. Please remember to take some photos to share on the Padlet. Graduates, can you please stand? Move your tassel from the right to the left. Class of 2021, I now declare you graduates from Oberoi International School. Congratulations. We will now take a short break for photos. Please remember to upload them to the Padlet. I will now count to 3. Then please throw your caps in the air. 1, 2, 3. We will now close the ceremony with a short performance from the class of 2021. Good evening.
Once upon a younger year, when all our shadows disappeared, the animals inside came out to play. Went face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, made memories we knew would never fade.
One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. He took me in his arms, I heard him say, when you get older, your wild heart will live for younger days. Think of me if ever you're afraid.
He said one day you'll leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child, these are the nights that never die. My father told me.
When thunderclouds start pouring down, light a fire they can put out, carve your name into those shining stars. He said go venture far beyond the shores, don't forsake this life of yours. I'll